Yes, people, how's it going? Welcome back to Lily White Lane. Hope you're doing good, hope you're keeping safe and well, and hope you're having a smashing and a fantastic Tuesday. Huge game for the boys tomorrow, Tottenham versus United away. Look, at the end of the day, you always want to get a result, right? You always want to get a result. But winning the Everton game and having that 100% record at home, I'd be happy to take a draw in this one. I really, really would. I think as much as they've had a couple of really bad performances this season, Manchester United against the likes of Brentford and Manchester City conceding 6 and 4 in both those games, they can be a really, really good team. In general, at Old Trafford, they don't really lose. They rarely concede at Old Trafford. They're very, very tough to break down. So look, I would take a point tomorrow. I really would. Do I think we'll get a point? No, I do think we will win the game. But if we do get a point, I'll go, okay, it's another away game, another point against one of the big 6 teams. We take it and we move on. And look, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Really looking forward to the game. I mean, last season we played them, although we beat Everton 5-0, you always come into this game with a bit of confidence. But look, I am confident. I am confident we will get the win. And I'm hoping that we do. I really am hoping that we do. But look, combined 11. Let's do a combined 11. Is two of the big 6 clubs that are colliding tomorrow. So without further ado, let's begin. Goalkeeper. You know what? A lot of Man United fans talk about De Gea. For me, like he's better than he is, with the amount of mistakes he has made and goals they've conceded. I understand Lloris made the mistake the other week against Arsenal, but he's been pretty much flawless the entire season, in my opinion. De Gea's got a mistake in him. They're both very similar goalkeepers in that they're fantastic shot stoppers, but the distribution isn't the best. And look, if their distribution was there, they'd be arguably the 2 best goalkeepers in the world, which they both were at a certain time. Lloris in 2018, De Gea in 2017, 2016. But look, I'm willing to compromise. I'm willing to put De Gea in there. I do rate De Gea, and I don't think those City goals really, were his fault. He made a couple of mistakes at Brentford. I don't think the City goals were his fault. I do quite rate De Gea, hence the fact I'm going to put him in my combined 11. Left back, we're going to go with a 4-3-3. I think playing 5 at the back, not many other teams do it, and 4-3-3 does work for most combined 11s when it comes to players. So look, moving on to left back, for me, has to be Perisic. I think Malacia has had some great games this season. No way is bloody James Corden getting in, Luke Shaw. Not a chance. But look, I do think Malacia's had some good games. The guy's not in the best form right now. Perisic has been brilliant all season. The guy's been whipping crosses left, right and centre. Really improved the depth and the strength we have on that left-hand side. Perisic for me all day long. Potentially Malacia in a few years. But right now, with the experience he's got and the way he's still playing at the age he is, Perisic 100, 1,000, 1,000,000% goes at left back. Moving on to the centre-back partnership. Now look, it's 2 very, very tough places to discuss. If you're basing it off form, for me, there's 4 players that can go in there. Lisandro Martinez had a very, very good season for Manchester United. Raphael Varane, the name speaks for itself, also having a good season. Romero having a fantastic season, and Eric Dyer. And then you're forgetting the likes of Ben Davies, who could potentially go in there. Longley, if you're basing it on form, who could potentially go in there. But for me, it's between those 4. And if I had to choose, based on form in this season, I'd go with Romero and I'd go with Martinez. I think Raphael Varane is a top player. And at a time was a world-class player. But I think since he joined United, he just doesn't really impress me and many other fans. I know United fans rave on about him, but before he joined them, he came into Manchester United as arguably one of the best, if not the best defender in the world. And he's not been as good as he was. He's been good in a few games here and there, but nowhere near as good as he was. And if you're basing it on form, which I like to do in these combined 11s, for me, Lisandro Martinez has to come in. I think, he got bullied against Ivan Toney, much bigger bloke. But people thought the height would really affect him in the Premier League. And to be fair to the guy, to be fair to the 5'11's a push, 5'3" little midget, the height hasn't really affected him. And to be a centre-back in a league when you've got players such as Mitrovic, Tony, all of these top players, and impress week after week after week, and arguably be the best player in a Manchester United team that's shit. That takes some guts, that takes good performances, and that takes a good player. And for you, like I say, for you to be that small and not good in the air, he has to be good on the ground, and he is. For me, he plays the ball out brilliantly from centre-back. So Lisandro Martinez does go in there, and Romero for me over Rafael Varane. I think Romero still doesn't get the credit he deserves from other fan bases. The guy is a top-class centre-back. I don't get why some people are like, oh, Varane after, no way Romero gets it at the Commodore level, no way Romero. Arsenal fans, United fans, Chelsea fans, it's like, what drugs are you on? What's making you think that Romero doesn't get in? Arguably, in my opinion, on form, alongside William Saliba right now, the best centre-back in the league. On form. Week in, week out, the guy's putting in consistent 8 and 9 performances when it comes to player ratings. Romero, all day long. The guy is a Rolls Royce at centre-back. Right back. I think Doherty's been really, really good. I think Doherty's been really good with the chance he's had for the last 180 minutes in the last 2 games. But for me, Dalot's played all season. He's been very solid all season. I think if Doherty started the season, he could potentially get a shout. And this is not Doherty not competing, but he just hasn't had the game time. So for me, Diego Dalot, I think he's been good this season. Nothing too special, but he's put in a few good performances. So Diego Dalot at right back. Moving on to the midfield 3. Bentancur for me definitely gets in there. I think the guy's been phenomenal this season alongside Højbjerg. Both of them immediately get into that midfield. Don't start talking, gobbing off, Man United fans, about Bruno bloody Fernandes. The guy had 1 good season at Man United, and since then has been absolute shit. Right? No way does Bruno get in. Bentancur all day long. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg all day long. The absolute Viking in the middle, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. The guy, he still doesn't get credit. I mentioned it to my Arsenal mates. They start laughing. It's like, this guy is so good. He doesn't get even the credit that Bentancur does or other midfielders in the league. This guy, once again, similarly to Romero, is putting in 8, 9 performances week in, week out. And right now, for me, is having his best spell in a Spurs shirt. If you're basing it off the last few games, best midfielder in the Premier League. Basing it off the last few games. The guy's been so good. That Frankfurt 3-2 win and the win on the weekend, absolute boss in that midfield. Højbjerg in there. Bentancur this season has been class. He goes in there. Look, I would argue Bissouma hasn't really had the minutes. Skip, same with him, hasn't really had the minutes. Bissouma more than Skip, but I'm going to have to go with Christian Eriksen. I still really like Christian Eriksen. And I do think he's been good at Man United. He's had a few poor performances, but the games he had against the likes of Arsenal and, another one which he had, he's had some great games. Great games in that Man United shirt. 2-1 win against Liverpool, that was another very solid game. The Southampton win, when they went on that little run, 4 wins in a row, I believe it was, with Liverpool and Arsenal involved, I said, this guy's really, really good. He's not been as good since in the Man United shirt, but we know what Eriksen can do. And for me, he's a Spurs legend. And he's doing very, very well at Manchester United. And for me, just about edges it right now over Bissouma. Moving on to the front 3. Look, it's a tough one. Well, it's really not. It's a tough one in one position. Heung-min Son, Harry Kane, 100% in there. I don't even think United fans can debate that. I think Heung-min Son, basing it off form, whether you're basing it off form or basing it on class and history, Heung-min Son goes immediately into that starting 11. The guy, once again, doesn't get enough praise he deserves. He's a world-class player. Absolutely phenomenal. Just the ability he has to cut inside and shoot, his dribbling ability. Son goes straight in there. Kane, arguably one of the best strikers in the world. Guy goes in there, probably going to become the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer. Probably goal scorer, the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer on my farm. He's probably going to become the Premier League's all-time top goal scorer. So look, Kane and Son locked in for me. Right wing, Kulusevski. Now, he's been injured for a couple of games. Does that affect his season and on form? Probably does a little bit. You know what? I'm gonna go with Anthony. I think Anthony's come into that Man United team. He's made a massive impact. He's scoring week in, week out, assisting. For me, he goes in there purely based on Kulusevski's little injury. But look, Kulusevski's had a very good season. Richarlison's had a very good season. But for me, Antony's came in, he's made a massive impact. And I'm willing to give that. So there is the Tottenham versus Manchester United combined 11. David De Gea in goal. Perisic at left back. Romero and Martinez as our centre-back partnership. Right back, Diego Dalot. Midfield 3, Bentancur, Højbjerg and Christian Eriksen. And the front 3, Son, Kane and Antony. I hope Man United fans are happy with that. I don't really care if they're not, to be honest. Let's go and stuff these lot tomorrow. But look, hope you all enjoyed this video. Please comment down below your thoughts on it and your own Tottenham versus Manchester United combined 11s. Buzzing for the game tomorrow. If we can get a result tomorrow, that'll be properly making a statement. Let's go and get the 3 points tomorrow. Thank you for watching this, ladies and gents. Thank you for watching this, people. All the best, God bless, and as always, come on you Spurs. In Conte, we trust.